what I'd like us to do is to focus on a whole organelle system inside of the cell. It's called the Endomembrane System, and it's going to be looking at the endoplasmic reticulum and the Golgi apparatus and the lysosomes. So there's 3 of them that we want to look at together. The endoplasmic reticulum is a mouthful to say, so I'm going to call it the ER from here on out. And then the Golgi. Both the ER and the Golgi apparatus are in charge of folding and packaging proteins to ship them out of the cell. And it's a very important job. If they don't fold them right, they aren't going to work. And if they don't package them right, they're going to be eaten or destroyed before they even get out of the cell. Okay, if a protein is folded incorrectly, the protein will not be usable for what it was created for. If the cell called for the creation of an enzyme and that enzyme was folded incorrectly, the enzyme wouldn't work. It would be useless. If a protein was packaged for transport incorrectly, it would not be able to go out to where it is needed. In this way, the protein would be useless as well. So how could these jobs come to happen by accident? To believe these capabilities sprung into existence by chance alone would be like believing that when I order a new bike from Amazon, all the parts just happen to come together in just the right way, where the front tire's in the front, the back tire's in the back, with the gears all attached in the correct order, and the seats there in the right place, and the handlebars correctly installed, all solely by chance alone. And then when I purchase the bike by chance alone and with no help at all from any intelligent being, my bike will package itself up in a nice safe cardboard box, put a label containing my address upon itself, pop itself on a self-driving truck, and just by chance alone find itself delivered onto my front porch in a few weeks. We all know it can't be true. We know that there's a whole lot of very smart people that are behind the building of the bike, the planning of how to ship the bike, and actually the packaging of the bike, and then the driving, and then finding the right address. All of that takes brains. It'd be crazy to believe it didn't. When Darwin first came up with the idea of evolution, all he knew about cells is that they were the building blocks of life. He saw them not very complex in and of themselves. He thought they were like Legos. Nothing more complex than that. So he figured they could have come together by accident, and thus we would see evolution bring about life. He even said that if we discover that cells are more complex than he thought that they were, then evolution could never occur. And yet, here we are, still teaching evolution to this day. So it's really important to understand that when we are studying and we look at the endoplasmic reticulum and we look at the Golgi apparatus, we understand that those 2 organelles are doing an amazing job. They were designed purposely by a created being with a very intelligent mind, and intentionally they have purpose. And so we can see, again, the evidence that we need a God that came up with the idea of a Golgi apparatus and gave it its capability to fold proteins and enzymes and to do it just right and to know what it was looking at. I mean, each protein has to be folded its own special way, and same with the enzymes. If they're not folded right, they don't work, remember? If they don't get packaged and sent out, they don't work. And once they get packaged and sent out of the cell, they need to make it to the right address. All of this shows design. Let's go to the lysosome. The lysosome is kind of like a garbage takeout system of the cell. It's filled with toxins that are created by the cell to take apart anything needing to be destroyed within the cell. In fact, it has all the toxins it can actually release and kill the cell. That process is necessary. The cell at some time has to die, and it can kill itself with the toxins in the lysosomes. These toxins, though, they must remain in their little container, the lysosome, until the cell is supposed to die. So they have to be contained in the lysosome. If they get out of their container, these toxins would literally take apart the cell from the inside out and destroy it completely, resulting in the cell's death. Like I said, that does need to happen, but not until a specific time. So how does the cell even make this dangerous substance? How does it know to package it so perfectly within a lysosome? How does a lysosome know to deal with the trash once it has it? Evolution's answer is it just happened by chance to evolve this amazing capability. But what if it was created on purpose by a purposeful God? What if our God truly holds everything together as his logbook claims he does? In Colossians 1:17 it says, "He is before all things, and in him all things hold together." Then even the lysosome in each and every cell in our body has been given its orders by God himself. And it's God himself that makes sure it continues to do its job. The lysosome is there to protect the cell by getting rid of the things it doesn't need, by taking apart the things it needs to take apart at the right time. And it is also there for that one time in which the cell needs to go ahead and die. So we can even see in the Golgi apparatus, the endoplasmic reticulum, and the lysosome, all organelles in a cell that we cannot even see with the naked eye. We can see a God that designed and purposed it all, a God who is extremely brilliant.